I was drowning in loan shark debt, trying to scrape together ICU money for my little sister, when I accidentally downloaded this sketchy app called Underworld Rideshare. Nobody told me this busted app wasn't picking up regular passengers. It was tapping into the city's underground whisper network. Want to stay alive? Follow the rules. And the end goal? Becoming a ferryman between the living and the dead. Not even 2 minutes into the ride, a wave of heat shot up from under the car. The smell alone nearly sent me 6 feet under. My instinct was to check the rear view, but rule number 1 of the Underworld driver manual flashed in my head. Never look at any reflective surface. You think you're watching them? Nah, they're watching you through the mirror. While I was zoning out, the severed head in the passenger seat suddenly spoke up. Don't look! Whatever you do, don't look! You'll die! Keep your eyes on the road! I took a deep breath and forced my mental GPS to kick in. My street sense? Not just talk. Every road I'd ever driven came back to me. Potholes, manhole covers, all of it, down to the last detail. My brain said I was on the Linjiang Overpass death run, but in reality that bridge collapsed 3 years ago. Pitch black, flooded, and covered in debris. Worse, a burning Route 14 bus was on my tail. That thing was scrapped years ago, but now it was coming at me like a 5-story building and not letting up. I let out a growl at the head, floored it, and yanked the wheel hard. The Maybach exploded like a caged beast, drifting across the wet road and fishtailing wide. Out of the corner of my eye, that train-sized thing was losing control, and the windows, burning arms reaching out of every single one. No bumper on the front, just gone. The front was a wall of screaming faces slamming into the guardrail trying to turn around. Meanwhile, the head in my passenger seat was cracking up like it was hammered. I had no time for that chatty head, just heard it yelling at me to floor it. The Maybach cut through the rain like a black blade, speed climbing, nearly skimming the ground, palms soaked, face white as a sheet, but fear? I couldn't afford it. All I could focus on was the meter ticking up as I wrestled the car down the boulevard. That drift was next level, but it shredded the custom tires and scraped the undercarriage. Per the contract, that's high-risk wear and tear. Ju-Yukai. More! Whatever the tip is, I'll pay it. My body's still in the trunk. If that thing catches up, I'm a lost soul for good. I cracked a grin. Copy that. Deal. The car shot off the highway like a bullet. The scene around me flipped instantly. The once busy Riverside Boulevard went dead silent, every streetlight replaced by pale grave flames. The buildings turned to black silhouettes, their windows staring at me like hollow eyes. The cold punched right through the climate control and hit my bones. Boss Ju's voice suddenly trembled, filled with some kind of reverence. We're here. Take a left at the next light into that alley. I slowed down and pulled into the alley, 1 car wide, fog thick as milk, headlights barely cutting 6 feet ahead. Boss Ju told me to stop. I hit the brakes, threw it in park, and yanked the handbrake, all in one smooth move. The head spun around on the seat to face me and told me to drag his body out of the trunk and reattach it. I unbuckled and stepped out. No splash of water underfoot, just the soft crunch of ash. I went around and popped the trunk. A thick wall of iron and blood hit me. Inside was a massive headless body in a suit, black blood still dripping from the neck. I dragged the body out, dropped it in the ash, and walked back to the passenger side. Face blank the whole time. I unclipped the head's seatbelt and carried it out like a watermelon. The head griped at me for being too rough, didn't want me messing up its hair. I crouched down and lined the head up with the neck. One gentle press. The moment flesh hit flesh, red tissue shot out like worms, weaving together in seconds until the wound sealed, leaving just a dark red scar. Boss Ju rolled his neck, crack him and stood up. He straightened his suit collar, pulled out a black leather wallet and told me, solid driving. Living guy or not, that edge you've got. Perfect for this line of work. He pulled out a black card, tossed it into the ash at my feet. Tip. The fare would auto-charge. Then he turned and walked deeper into the alley. The fog parted on its own, revealing a red lacquer gate flanked by 2 snarling bronze lions. No handle. It swung open by itself, nothing but darkness inside. Boss Ju walked in, and it slammed shut behind him. I finally let out a long breath, bent down and picked up the card. Cold as jade, felt like bone. Front had some eerie symbol. Back, in gold foil. Underworld Ferryman, trainee license. My busted phone went crazy in my pocket. I pulled it out, screen cracked all over, and it lit up on its own. A blood-red payment screen popped up. Ride complete. Passenger tier, Fierce Ghost, Ju-Yukai. Distance, 44 kilometers. Underworld road violations, 0. Passenger review, wild cold service but follows orders, 5 stars. Base pay, 4444 ghost coins, deposited. Bonus, personal gift from Ju-Yukai, trainee license. Current balance, 444 ghost coins. Redeemable for Y44,400 RMB at a 1/100 rate. System alert, first Fierce Ghost ride completed without triggering a death flag. New skill unlocked, Ghost Coat LVI1. Reduces your chance of being spotted by low-tier spirits at night by 34%. Seeing Y44,400, my permanently frozen face finally cracked. Greed, relief, and a deep, quiet sadness all at once. That 44,400 buys my sister 2 more days in the ICU. I whispered to myself, just stay alive. I turned the wheel and drove the beat-up Maybach slowly toward the hospital on the other side of the city.